anymore. It's just
It would be interesting if like
really bad.
there was a show where they release an episode and then they let like all the fans give feedback, and then they base the writing and stuff off of that for the next episode each week.
Yeah, I mean, that would be probably work out better for them doing some kind of fan made
It'd be
shit.
an interesting like social experiment.
Yeah, here's the trailer for this episode. We call it that.
This is our only chance to save Sabine and Ezra. If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain.
Thrawn?
Force isn't a weapon,
Thong.
but you will never understand that.
Some of this is like fan made.
Failure
shit.
to act always brings consequences. But sometimes those consequences can be turned
Wait, but yeah, what the fuck? That guy's head looked weird.
advantage.
Yeah, that guy's head did look weird. Yeah, so
It looked like his head wasn't even on his body, and they like superimposed it, his head turning. Can you go back there real quick?
some of that I'd exit out of that window. Some of that trailer was fan made. Like a lot of that doesn't happen in the show. Like some of it was like I think that was that thing you're talking
when
about.
the guy turned his head, it looked like his part of his neck disappeared, and then like,
yeah, I think that was fan made.
I hope so. Holy shit! If
Yeah,
that's
well,
the case, then
it
they're at
wasn't in
the
that.
point where they really could give a fuck about anything.
Yeah. Oh
Did
yeah.
you see how She-Hulk had like such bad CG that it was almost like it seemed like, you know, like a poorly made student film or something?
Oh yeah. Oh dude, no. Well, it was just yeah. Something recently I saw felt like a student film. What was it? Oh, that Charlie Day movie felt like a student film. That really felt like a student film. That just had like a big budget.
I was hoping his stuff would not be embarrassingly awful like that.
I mean, it's like I don't know who it's for. It's one of those movies. It's like when you can't tell who it's for, that's not a good sign.
Well, not for fans of Always Sunny.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, there was some cameos of people you'd know from Always Sunny, but that's not enough to
doing favors.
You know. Yeah, but yeah, this episode, initial thoughts. The pacing was like incredibly slow. Thrawn or Thong, whatever you want to call him. He's in the comics and the cartoon expanded universe. He's like a very intimidating character. In this, he's not intimidating. He just seems like
he just seems like a nerdy Data ripoff.
Yeah, he's sort of just like a blue prick. He's like not tough looking.
Does he do anything like in the show that's really violent to make him seem more impactful, or
he does in the Rebel. He does in like the Rebels and Clone. He does in other things. In this, no, he's just kind of there. Really not intimidating. Just kind of like a blue prick. That's
what all the little chiclet packlet things represent?
Yeah, I was looking at that. I had to look it up. Apparently, it's a badge.
He's got 4 pens. Wow, he's really prepared to write something down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
That's
badge.
pretty intimidating. I've never seen somebody with that many pens before.
That is intimidating. That's a good point. He's got 4. I don't even know if it could be I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something else.
Are they even
probably
pens? Maybe they're like mini little pocket dildos.
It could be little pocket dildos. I wouldn't put that past 2023 Star Wars for pocket dildos.
Yeah, because there's all these female adversaries. What's the easiest way to, get them into like submission?
Yeah. Well, there's some very uninteresting reunions in this episode because this is
Anakin.
Anakin's not in. I'm actually almost positive he's out of that was just a little appearance for that episode. There's hermit crab people that were pretty cool. I think that was the only thing I liked about. Yeah, they kind of remind me of World of Warcraft characters, like these like little hermit crab people that like when they hide on their fronts they look like rocks, but then when they jump up they kind of have like a shell. They were cool. I'll give them that. I like that. I thought that was a cool.
So we should have used the South Park crab people clip.
Yeah, these were different. They were like little. They're like these little crab people, but like I don't know if they had claws, but they looked like hermit crabs. They had like big eyes that kind of like jutted up from their head.
Claws?
I didn't see any claws. Actually, I think they might have had little hands. No, I don't think they had claws at all. But they looked like
claws. At least like claws.
Oh no, claws. Yeah, they had shells and everything. So yeah, this starts off with Ahsoka in a ship with the robot, with their arms folded, being boring. And I think basically because the whole rest of the episode doesn't have her in it, so there's like at least a 2-minute sequence where she's in it.
They
And
got the quota out of the
that.
way.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna call the show Ahsoka, you have to kind of have her in it, right?
So she's like making a cameo in her own show.
Yeah, in this episode, she's pretty much just making a cameo. Yeah, so then Sabine and the bad guys, these two bad guys here, they arrive on this distant planet. I mean, the planet's kind of cool. It's like a weird planet.
Got a little Jedi braid thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give this to these two characters. They're actually kind of interesting. I mean, their personalities aren't, but the idea of them is because they're not Jedis, but they're not Sith. So they're kind of like gray area Jedis. So it's kind of interesting.
They're interesting in theory, but not practice.
Yes, exactly. Like writing it down, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool. They're like Jedis that don't really follow the Jedi way, but they're not really like evil fucks that would be Sith. So kind of like gray area Jedis. Not bad. I mean, the guy on the right is the best character in the show, which is really not saying anything.
Wasn't he? He was in Thor, right?
Yeah, he's been in a few things. He actually died. This guy did die. Sucks. He's probably the only one in the show, of course.
In real life?
Yeah, he did die in real life, I think, a few months ago. Something with a heart thing.
So what are they going to do? They're going to, like, Tupac him in the next couple episodes?
I mean, the way the show's going, since he's, like, a villain, I'm pretty sure he's going to be killed off in the show anyway. This was before he died anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, he's set up to be
dead. Without him in it anymore. They just say, like, oh, he died off screen.
No, I think he's, like, even though the show ended when he was still alive, I think he's killed off in the show. I can almost guarantee it. Like, you can call the show. The girl on the left, I don't think will die. I think she'll go on to whatever season happens next. They're kind of trying to. Yeah, that's like the not Maggie Gyllenhaal, but is Maggie Gyllenhaal kind of looks like her, but blonde, like with a mop wig.
They get these like flat as a board Jedis. Is there something about having no tits that gives you more power?
I think they want to like avoid sexuality with a lot of these Jedi. I mean, Jedi are boring. I've really realized that.
But they made her look like a little boy with this like fun hair thing and this goofy ass robe shit.
Well, actually, I'm not gonna. All right, Jedis aren't boring because Luke wasn't boring, but Obi-Wan's fucking boring in the prequels.
Oh, Luke was kind of a whiny bitch.
Yeah, but he wasn't boring. He was kind of a whiny bitch. Actually, he's only kind of a whiny bitch before he's a Jedi. In the first one,
actually, Anakin's way more of a whiny bitch than Luke ever was.
Yeah, and even Anakin's actually probably more interesting than like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. But they're just kind of boring characters. Like Ahsoka just fucking sits there with her arms crossed. Like,
yeah, I don't think we can show the Twitter stuff with the Anakin thing that we're talking about.
Oh yeah, probably not. Probably not. Oh yeah, so they arrive on this distant planet, and then there's like these witches that greet them, and I'm not so sure if I like witches in Star Wars. I like witches, and I like a witch planet and some weird magic shit, but
yeah, no, witches are more like fantasy stuff, not sci-fi.
Yeah, but I guess Star Wars crosses that line a little bit, but
well, they both do, I guess. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I can get some water.
I just wasn't crazy about it. Yeah, I'll go through this more. I wasn't crazy about it. And there's really bad makeup on them. They almost kind of look like Halloween ghouls with like obvious white face paint on. Like I really didn't like that. That was something I did not like at all. So I can flat out tell you that. Yeah, then they see Sabine, and these witches think she's a Jedi, which we've not seen any evidence of that. I'll say I mean, I know she's got a lightsaber and everything, but we don't see any evidence of that. And then Thrawn's ship pulls up, which was kind of cool. You see the big Imperial ship. Again, they got to mine that Star Wars well. There's not much there. So you get the big ship, and then we see Thrawn, and he's got some stormtroopers, and he's got this gold guy as I guess the leader. I don't know why. This of course was not explained. As a lot of things in this show, they just leave things unexplained. Like, I really want to know what the fuck Ahsoka is. Like, someone has to meet her and be like, "What are you? I've never seen you." And like, and at least you can tell the audience what the fuck she is. Like, and what those tentacles are. Like, give us some explanation. Like, we don't know. You're like presupposing a lot of things about the audience, and that's not ever that smart. But yeah, they let Sabine go for some reason. I guess because she led them to Thrawn, so it's kind of like a deal that they're doing. They said you could go after Ezra and find him because he could be here, but Thrawn says he could be dead, which we know he's not. The point of this whole show is pretty obvious. They give her this wolf thing, which again, that was kind of cool. Some of the creatures, I like the creatures. I wonder if that'll come up in the photos. Oh, here's boring Ahsoka just sitting there looking bored on the space inside the space whale mouth. And yeah, this is a really bad wig and makeup and just looks fake. And oh, there he is. That's a spoiler. Spoiler. But yeah, this is how I felt. Watch, everyone's just like dull and there. Very dull show. This girl's dull. He's dull. That dull gold paint. Yeah, there's that witch lady who's, again, I don't know if I like witches in Star Wars. I like witches, but I don't know about in Star Wars. Yeah, so she gets this wolf and she goes out looking for Ezra on the alien planet, and it's kind of like kind of tell like, oh, this planet is like, you know, what is it? Kind of like an abandoned apocalyptic kind of planet. So there's bandits and all that shit. So of course, bandits come and jump her, and they're very boring to fight. Which I don't know how you could make these fights so boring. She does whip out the lightsaber, was still boring. And then she walks a little further with the wolf, and she finds this hermit crab alien, and they're cool. This thing is cool looking, and a bunch of them pop up. I really did like that. That was a cool design, cool idea. And then one's got this rebel medallion. So then there you go. We know Ezra's alive, even though we knew it anyway. Again, very obvious. It's just they treat everyone like a moron, and like this kind of storytelling is terrible. That's these Star Wars fans who like this shit. I have to say, you are getting some terrible storytelling. When it used to be different. It used to never be the case that you'd have boring storytelling in Star Wars. Now I think they're used to it. They're used to that. Yeah, so she follows this hermit crab back to their hermit crab community, and then there's good old Ezra. Here he is. We see Ezra, and again, really, really uninteresting meeting there. So yeah, final thoughts. I hated this fucking episode. Her meeting with Ezra was like so uneventful. It was like, hey, what's up? There's no like emotional connection. You would think it would be like someone said, like, I thought I would never see you, or like you'd be so happy to see someone. No, just like, hey, what's up? How are you? Like that, like flat as fuck. And Thrawn, just some fucking blue asshole. He's not intimidating. Doesn't seem tough. Nothing really like that. It feels like he should be more threatening. Especially if you want to make him like, why is he this threat? I know they're so terrified of him coming back. Like, why? Is he like a Hitler? Like, come on, explain it then. Explain some kind of reason why we should be scared of him coming back to the universe. Like, why what Sabine did was so traitorous. Because he just seems like a blue asshole that's just gonna get beaten like as soon as he's back. I don't know. This does not lead on a cliffhanger. It just sort of ends flat, and yeah, there's Ezra, and okay, hey, what's up? It's just like, hey, it's not even like a big hug or anything. We also like don't know if like there's an emotional connection with Sabine and him. Like, is she into him? Is he into her? Was there like some kind of love connection? Because in the cartoon, it was sort of like ambiguous on that. Kind of had the vibe that he liked her, but he was like younger than her. Now they're all like looking similar age. So I don't know. Is there like a love connection? Is it a sister thing? If it is a sister thing, wouldn't you think they'd be happy to see each other? He's been gone for years on a distant world that they didn't think they'd ever get to see each other. Shouldn't that be like a big thing? Shouldn't it be like a big moment? It's just no, it's like, hey, what's up? let's slap hands. Let's give us like a high five. It's basically what they did. They gave each other a high five. Pretty much what happened there. So this is what we've been working up to. This is episode 6. There's only 2 more episodes of this left. I think it's obvious that it's just gonna end off where Thrawn gets back to the galaxy, and then there's gonna be another season. So it's gonna be a very uneventful show, which I guess you shouldn't be surprised with Star Wars. It's kind of been like that. But have to say this, it was still very, very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Voy Kuag.
Gotta clap for that.
Gotta clap for it. Gotta clap for it.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Amazing. Whoa. Very cool.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was amazing. It broke new ground.
Lucasfilm logo. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but no title crawl. Oh well!
I applauded it for being different.
It broke new ground!
Yeah, it didn't break any new ground. I felt like Ed Harris being interviewed.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the press conference for A History of Violence. And I will immediately introduce the people who are here at this panel. Sitting next to me, actor and director, Mr. Ed Harris. Ed, you wanted to add anything?
Not particularly.
Oh yeah, you did do one. That's
I'd
right.
like that. No, because what is that? What is that? You know? What is that? What is it? What is it? What is violence? What is it? You know, that's what the movie's about.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, that's
It's a good movie. I like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a Cronenberg film because there's really no sci-fi element or horror stuff. Well, I guess horror, but
Yeah, well, it looks better than this fucking Ezra sitting there smiling at you with his arms. Everyone has their arms crossed. Uncross your fucking arms, you fucking twit.
no, yeah, it's just it's a very smug look.
Yeah, well, he's kind of like a Middle Eastern looking guy, so they're a little smug. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what they're doing in the show. This was really bad. I definitely give this a 2 out of 10. That's about where I would put it. About a 2 out of 10. That's my review.
2 out of 10.
Yeah, this was really bad. Like, I mean, I've been saying how the show's like watchable for sure. This one was not. This one was really fucking bad. And it's, left you off like no cliffhanger, nothing. Like, I don't see why you'd want to watch the next episode. You have to. Netflix does a good job of that, where they know they're trying to hook you into do a binge watch. There's none of that going on. There's nothing trying to hook you. And I can't help but get the feeling of when Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon came out versus Lord of the Rings, Amazon show, and how the one blew it out of the water. It's kind of like One Piece is sort of blowing this out of the water.